Hello, my name is Charlie and this is my YouTube channel. Today I am doing the rapid fire book tag, which is basically answering a bunch of questions as quickly as possible. They're kind of like this or that questions. If you could hear the dog next door barking, whoops. Here we go. First question, ebook or physical book? It depends. Sometimes I prefer physical books, especially for books that are more special to me, like, Harry Potter or Vicious. I talk about Vicious a lot. It's a good book. Read it. But ebooks are really nice for if either the book is really big, like with things like Game of Thrones, or for things that otherwise have very tiny fonts. But for classics and science books and books that are really special to me, I like having physical book. But I also really like the textural feel of a physical book. Paperback or hardback? Paperback. It's another textural thing. It's just very nice. Sure, hardbacks, they look great, but also paperbacks are very nice because they're cheaper and the actual feel of reading them is nicer. Online or in-store book shopping? I research stuff online and then do stuff in store. That's my favorite way to do things, but if I have to pick one, it's in store because going to bookstores is very fun. I went to a used bookshop yesterday and let me grab it. I got a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird because it's really good. I read it for school last year and I love it, but I don't have a copy of my own, so I wanted to get a copy of my own. Trilogies or series? I think series are preferable because if I really, really, really love the characters, then I could just continue reading stuff about them. Like with the Queen's Thief series, I only have 4 of the books. There's 5, but almost 6. I'm very excited that the 6th book comes out this month. Harry Potter and stuff like that. But some things are better as a duology or a trilogy. But I just like having a lot of information about the characters that I really love. Heroes or villains? So I don't entirely understand what this question means. From a which do I really like as having as a point of view character perspective, that's what I'm going to take with this question. I love villain perspectives. They're just very interesting, and if they're well done, it's awesome and it just adds so much to the book. I keep mentioning these books, but they're a good example with Vicious and Vengeful. They have villain perspectives and also anti-heroes and stuff like that. Anti-heroes are fun. Except with stuff like things fall apart because Okonkwo is terrible and I almost threw the book across the room a whole lot because I got very annoyed with him. But basically villains, I guess. I don't really understand the question. A book that you want everyone to read. I'm gonna say Howl's Moving Castle for this. I'm not gonna say Vicious because Vicious is it'd be cool if a lot of people read it, but it's certainly not for everyone. And sure, Howl's Moving Castle isn't for everyone either, but I feel like more people would appreciate it. It's just a more mellow book. Vicious is a lot. It's a whole lot. Recommended underrated book. I don't know if it's underrated necessarily, but it's a classic that people don't seem to talk about it as much, and for that I'm going to say The Picture of Dorian Gray. I don't currently have my copy of it, but if you're interested in reading a classic, read that. And then for something that's underrated that is one that almost nobody's heard of is The Thief, or the Queen's Thief series. I have the 2nd through 5th books here. I don't have a physical copy of the first, but the Queen's Thief series or Picture of Dorian Gray. The last book you finished. Oh, I don't have it with me, but the last book I finished was Piratas Después del Mediodía. I think that was the title anyways, but basically it was the fourth Magic Treehouse book, the one about pirates, but in Spanish. I talked about it in my February wrap-up. When this video goes up, I'll probably have read something more recently, but as of filming it, it's like March 3rd, so yeah. The last book you bought. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. Oh. Is it in here? It's in here. So in this book, I needed a bookmark, and so one of my friends, I don't know why it was a scrap, but I have like a scrap of the bottom of, it has some doodles on it, as you could see, of like weird faces. This is from a long time ago. This is from like 7th or 8th grade, and it's the scrap from the bottom of someone's like practice sheet. I don't even know why I have this, like if someone was cutting something up, or I don't know why I have it like this, but I needed a bookmark. So yeah, so there's that. That's probably the weirdest thing I've used as a bookmark. Use books, yes or no? Heck yes. This book is also getting mentioned a lot in this video, but you know, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I don't have it on me right now, but my collection of 3 plays by Harold Pinter. I have this it's plays by Oscar Wilde. I have The Merchant of Venice. Why do I have so many used plays? I just do. But used books in general, they're great. They're cheap. It's recycling, I guess. So yeah. Yes to used books. There are some that I'd like to get like a fresh new copy of. Like I want to get all the hardbacks of Harry Potter. I do have like the soft covers, but just like as a sentimental thing, I just want like a bunch of all the hardbacks because it's one of my favorite series. But yes, used books, except sometimes you want a new book, but like most of the time I'm down to get a used book because yeah. Top 3 favorite genres. Okay, so this one's like a no-brainer. Fantasy. Next genre. I'm trying to think because the bulk of what I read is fantasy, and I'm thinking of like other things. I can't really say plays as a genre that I like. Fantasy. I haven't read much of it, but I'm liking these kind of sciencey books. I have like my science books over here. You can't see them great, and not all of them are there. Like mathy, sciencey, physics books. And I've also been liking classics more and more because I've read more of them, and I realize that's not a genre, but like, yeah. Borrow or buy. I'm more inclined to buying because if I want, I could, mark the page or something like that, or dog-ear it or what have you. And with borrowing, I feel really badly if I don't give them back the book for like a long time, and I'm also terrified to mess up their book. So yes, I will borrow sometimes. Oh, library books, wonderful, but I'm thinking of like borrowing from a friend. Yeah, when it comes to library books, yes, wonderful, and I'll buy if it's like a special book or something like that. Like, with these, just this shelf, and also buying with it when it's books that I'm definitely going to mark up. Characters or plot? I think I have to say plot, because, for example, with the 3 Dark Crowns series, I only have like a handful of characters that I actually like. And not just because there's like a whole lot of villains or something. No, I just only have a very small handful of characters I actually like in that series. But I'm digging the heck out of the plot. So, I think I gotta say plot for that. Long or short books? What about slightly long books? Like, 400 pages is like the really nice range where it's about 400 pages and you're like, cool, I have a good length of story, but it's also, I have the satisfaction of finishing, and it just kind of works nicely, plot-wise, of how long it is. At least for, like, the genre I read, that works out well. Long or short chapters? Whenever the chapter naturally ends. For something like, Terry Pratchett, there's barely any chapters, it's more just like parts, and it just continues and continues and continues. I like chapters because there is kind of like the natural progression throughout like the whole thing. It's like a little, wave or whatever. But I don't really mind chapter length, however long it is. Name the first 3 books that you think of. To Kill a Mockingbird, because I've just been talking about it. Black Rabbit Hall. Skippy John Jones. There you go. Books that made you laugh or cry. For laugh, I'll get back to you. I'm trying to think of books that made me like actually laugh out loud. Cry, Island of the Blue Dolphins. If you've read Island of the Blue Dolphins, you know the really sad thing that happens to one of the characters? That's the hardest I've ever cried with a book. I was just sitting on the couch sobbing. Yeah, for laugh, I'm trying to think of one, because there's a lot of books that I've had moments where I've laughed, but I'm gonna say Guards by Terry Pratchett, because it's just a good time, and there's, like, I'm very inclined to, like, share quotes of it with people. Like, if I'm sitting next to someone and I'm reading, I'll be like, oh, here, listen to this quote, because it's funny. So, Guards by Terry Pratchett. Our world or fictional worlds? Can I say, like, our world, but with magic? 'Cause I dig our world because, I'm not gonna die of, like, getting stabbed with a sword or possessed by a demon or something, But also fictional worlds are a whole lot of fun. Like, so I just wish it was, like, our world with magic, or fictional worlds if we're talking about, like, Harry Potter, because then I could just be some random background character just, like, hanging out, riding a dragon, whatever. Audiobooks, yes or no? No, most of the time. Fun fact, I'm not the best at snapping, so I am very bad at listening to audiobooks. I used to listen to audiobooks a lot more, but now I get distracted too easily for it. I like it if I'm, like, at the gym or something, and, like, I'm working out, and I'll be listening to, like, the thing that I've been listening to for the longest is The Martian, and it's really good, but, like, I listen to it so stretched out because I listen to it almost exclusively when working out, because otherwise I couldn't actually focus on the plot and, like, what was happening. Yeah, when I was younger, like I said, listened to a lot more. Now the only audiobooks that I could, like, kind of deal with, like, in the car or whatever, is, like, Magic Treehouse, but even then I don't listen to those because I've already listened to them, and I haven't tried to listen to them for a while, but I don't think that I'd be able to anymore. But basically, I don't have the attention for that, yet I could sit for 6 hours and read just, like, a regular book. But, it's I have to like physically like read the thing, look at the words and flip the page and stuff like that. But with audiobooks, my brain's just like, boop, we're not listening anymore. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes, we all do it. Like, I do. Yeah. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations. I haven't seen a whole lot of book to TV adaptations, but I feel like it could be cool, except the thing is, I'm going to use Shadowhunters for an example. It was very inaccurate, like, compared to the book, but also it was still, like, a good show and stuff like that. At least I thought it was alright. It's been a while since I've seen it, so maybe it wasn't as good as I thought, but another example of really bad book-to-movie adaptation, though, is, you know, The Lightning Thief. But on the other hand, Harry Potter, great book-to-movie adaptation. Like, the first through third are some of the best book-to-movie adaptations that I've ever seen. But TV shows, hypothetically, they could stick closer to the plot. Will they stick closer to the plot? Good question. But I'm going to choose TV shows for this. A movie or TV show you preferred to its book. I can't... Oh, hello, dog. It's the dog's being loud. I don't know. Well, first of all, I haven't seen, like, a crazy amount of TV shows, like I said, that were connected to a book. And I've seen I've seen a lot of book-to-movie adaptations. I cannot think of anything. So, not answered for that question. Series or standalones? Series, except for certain things. Like, if... I'm going to use Picture of Dorian Gray as another example. Picture of Dorian Gray, the series, I hope not. Either that'd be yikes, yikes, or that would be, very dull. Like, what? Is he gonna, like, Dorian's back, it's like 100 years later, his ghost is haunting his old house, and, like, no, that's actually not very simple, but, like, you know, it's, like, what you gonna do for that? But most of the things I read can work as series anyways, so, series. And that is it. There's the rapid fire book tag. It was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If anybody wants to, go and do it. I wasn't tagged. I tagged anybody who wants to. So, yeah. And the person who created this tag was GirlReading. So, go check her out if you want to. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, night, what have you, wherever time it is where you are, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.